to ISRL. Today we are back in Europe. We're in Portugal for round 9, I think, this of the season. I will be right in saying, let me check real quick. It is indeed round 9. Round 8 obviously happened at Saudi Arabia last week with the sprint race being there. And we go into this race with 7 races left in the season, and it's all up for grabs still, most definitely. So we've got the quick standard updates. CPI de Rouge still leads the title on 140 points, but now only has a 2-point lead to ISRL Lorenzo in the Ferrari. Knight is in P3, a little way back on 97 points, but still well within the fight with Rio DC, who I believe is actually back this week. He is indeed. In P4 on 91 points. So a lot still to play for, indeed, as we get ready for a hopefully very entertaining and in a good way race this evening. Obviously we've had Australia this morning, so hopefully everyone is still awake. Not sure if people will be. I'm not, definitely, but yeah, hopefully we're going to have a good amount of action. Yeah, don't really know what else to say, really. Good amount of action, as it looks very cloudy here in Portugal. I mean, I think there is quite a high chance of rain around here. I know some of the races I've took part in around here have had rain, actually, quite often, more often than not, actually, I think. Yeah, so both races I've done here have had rain at some point, so that means we've got rain tonight. Who knows? Maybe I'm just cursed. It only happens when I'm in the lobby, but we shall see. As EFL Leo is on the track, the first one out. He's got that Lewis Hamilton-esque helmet, which is very nice to see, I think, anyway. He's got yellow and purple in a Mercedes. I just presume it's Lewis Hamilton. So yeah, hopefully he can. Obviously this is a new track on the calendar, only on this. I think it'll only be on this game, considering it's not on the calendar next year. Don't quote me on that. Knowing Codemasters, it'd be part of the classic tracks or something now, but it's quite, I'm pretty sure it's MotoGP track, if I'm right in saying. But it's a very nice track to drive either way for, I think, a lot of drivers. I think especially pads drivers more so seem to have a slight advantage on pace wise, I believe, over wheel drivers, but it's not much. Once again, like most tracks are now, quite average in terms of which if it's paid to win or not. As we go into turn 1 here, EFL Leo, make sure not to use too much of the curb on the exit, as you will invalidate. Heading up the hill on the left hander now. You got earlier on the traction, he does that very nicely indeed, actually, does the Mercedes driver, and into sector 1, brakes between the 100 and 50 metre board. Gets that turned in very nicely indeed, early on the traction once again, keeping it all in a straight line. I'd love to see. Slight lift through it, that right hander here. Obviously in the race it's going to be a lot more difficult to do. That right hander is going to cause, I'm pretty sure, a lot of people problems throughout the race. That uphill right hander, it just seems to set the car off balance every time. And into this corner, I do not know the names, I'm sorry, but you can take a lot of lines into that corner, as so far this has been quite a solid lap from the Mercedes driver. No real mistakes, he's just got a banker on the board by the looks of it, as long as he doesn't invalidate on this last turn, as he does not. And yeah, a very nice lap indeed from the Mercedes driver. What time will it be? I will have to be honest, I don't know what is a good time here, but a 16.5 looks decent. As we'll go on board with Deadly Mosquito, I guess, unless there's Knight on mediums hasn't validated. What about Bassi? Bassi's coming up to the line now, and he does a 17.2, so I think that does show it was quite a good lap indeed from the Mercedes driver, as Deadly Mosquito goes 4th fastest, with Robbie going slightly slower than the past driver on those soft tyres. So obviously we've also got a few drivers on those medium tyres. Sofyan on the mediums does a 17.4. Very nice lap indeed from the winning driver, who sits P5 at the minute in the standings. So he'll be hoping to try and catch up on ISRL Night in P4 and in P3 and Real DC in P4 today. Speaking of Real DC, he's going to finish his first lap on the medium tyres. Whereabouts will this put him? Hopefully higher up than the Aston Martins are in real life at the minute. He goes 17.5, just ahead of his teammate there. Not bad. ISRL Knight now on his second medium lap. I think he invalidated his first one. So we shall see where this puts him. He goes through the last corner. I don't think it's a competitive lap. Oh no, maybe it is. I don't know. 17. Goes 17.9. So Sofyan currently the pace setter on those medium tyres. A 17.4 actually looking like a very good lap time in comparison to others at the minute. Whilst we've been distracted, the two Alfa Romeos, Jarno and De Rouge, go in and putting in 16.7s. Very nice laps from the both of them. I think that pretty much sums up the most for the most part. Sorry, I'm very sleep deprived at the minute. As Captain Blade will finish, as EFL's teammate will finish his lap now. He'll be wanting to get around the mid 117s, I believe. He does actually improve on a mid 117 and actually goes ahead of D Mort on those medium tyres. Mercedes here looking quite strong, a bit like real life, I think. Yeah, they're quite strong here. Real life, if I do remember correctly. We'll ride on board with Galula 84 maybe. As Stubb actually on 3 lap old softs does a 1:16.6 on them. That's a very good lap time from the Alpine driver. Doing a bit of a Fernando Alonso from yesterday, if anything. As we ride on board with Galula, he's 4 seconds up on his lap time, so I'm guessing he made a mistake at some point through his last lap, which obviously explains why he may be down in P14. He did also say he had a purple middle sector, so could be a good idea. As he comes across the line, a 17.5, puts him P11, so obviously on those medium tyres he will have to go back out again at some point in this session to go try and get into the top 10 on those soft tyres, which is not ideal really. Only Captain Blade so far is on the medium tyres in the top 10. As we ride on board with EFL DOC, what he can do on these medium tyres. Turn 1 again and 2 very nicely once again hitting the apexes all over this track. Currently this Mercedes driver, as I say that as he spins out. Not the best way to start your lap at all. So we're going to find someone. Currently I think actually no one is on a lap. But yeah, we can just chill. I think it's already time for Portuguese facts. Yeah, I'll get some facts up because I'm going to need them at some point today. Anyway, because I'm guaranteeing you there's going to be a safety car or a virtual safety car. Portimao facts, I think we'll do. Keep it related to F1. As I'm guessing some people may still not have watched the race, so I'll stay away from that subject if people are. As we'll actually go on the F1 website, everything we need to know about it. It is in the Algarve, so in Portugal obviously. Right, it's quite a windy track if I remember correctly from the real life. I think headwind and whatnot having quite an impact. But yeah, we can ride on board once again with EFL Leo, who's invalidated, so we can't ride on board with him. As Demorse is currently 3 temps up on his lap, so that'll put him around P5 at the minute, I think. Quite comfortably, actually, so hoping he has a good last sector to try and close in on the 2 Alfa Romeos, maybe. As he comes across the line, what time is it? A 17 flat, a very nice lap indeed from the Alpine AlphaTauri driver. Puts him P6, not for long though. Sofian, obviously changing back onto those soft tyres from the mediums, puts himself in P2. So EFL Leo, still with his banker, still the driver to beat, which quite unusual, I think, in a qualifying session to have the driver on their banker have the quickest lap, especially in league racing these days. Track Evolution seems to have quite a major part in qualifying. I think the later you are, it certainly helps out the case of where you finish in qualifying. Obviously, pace at a track, quite a key factor as well. I'm sure we all know this, but yeah. Question for now, I think, would you like to see Portimao on the actual F1 calendar? I mean, I know it's not, I don't think it's on there anymore, as Jarno actually, save me from waffling, goes around a 10th.5 clear of EFL Leo in the Mercedes, as Leo once again going for another lap on these mediums now. He really wants to make this time complete on the mediums tyres, as he uses all of the curb there, going into the tight right-hander, up on the left-hander where he hasn't spun this time, so making progress once again. And currently a 10th.5 down on his personal best, so he's really using all of the track there. I mean, almost a bit over if you ask me. Should be invalidated, but you know. Actually getting a nice drift on there through the fast right-hander, so clearly pushing this Mercedes to the most it can possibly handle on these medium tyres. I don't think, however, he is going to be able to improve on his soft time. He is 4 tenths down, so that is a no. As Rio DC is not on a lap. As Captain Blade, on those medium tyres, does a 17.0. Very nice lap indeed from himself, and puts himself in quite a good position as we enter the final 5 minutes of this session, I think. Yeah, 5 minutes. Got that spot on. But yeah, we've still got Lachise and Farafuri to set a lap time. So the grid may be spiced up once again there, as I'm going to find someone on a lap. Not on a lap. On a lap? Not on a lap. As Galawala comes across the line, we have missed most of his lap, but he does come across the line to get P8, and more importantly, snatch that P8 from Captain Blade in the McLaren on those medium tyres. As his teammate now, I think, on a lap, it looks like to be like he's pushing 7 tenths down. However, I don't think it's a quick lap if he is on one, that's for sure. And Stubb here on a lap by the looks of it, currently sat P4. Obviously his original lap was done on 3 lap old soft tyres, so theoretically he should have quite an improvement in that car. Yes, I do also have a card. It's not great commentating on your own in illness, but we move on. So yeah, if you're a football fan, not Atletico, Man City and Liverpool ended 2-2, so title race continues on, I guess. As we'll go back on board, carry on board with the Alpine driver. Coming through the last corner now. Will he actually get an improvement on his lap time, or will he stay in P4, which is, don't get me wrong, still quite a good position? No, he would not improve. Is your answer to that one? Bassi seems like he's on the lap, so we'll ride aboard with him. Almost 2 tenths up on his lap time through the first sector alone. Interesting to see what the Haas can do here. Going into the middle part of this lap now, the most technical part of the lap for sure. Into this right-hander where you got to be so careful on the power. Car loves to have a little drift and they'll wonder in that part of the lap. This corner once again where you can take many lines. A lot of people seem to take a wider line. 3 tenths up on his lap at the minute. Currently put him around the likes of Demort, depending on how well he can nail this final corner now. As he does it pretty well indeed. He uses all of the curb, enough not to be invalidated however. And we'll come across the line now. 2:16.8. So puts him right up there with the likes of Darude and Real DC. Obviously, if you haven't noticed already, Lorenzo, who is currently P2 in the title, is not here. So CPI Darude really needs to make as much progress as he can. Or, well, get himself as much of a gap as he can as we enter the final few rounds of the season. So yeah, fun. So yeah, we're on board with Darude. I don't know. I think he is. It looks like he's on the lap pushing. He is indeed. No one takes that aggressive of a line if you're not pushing, and he goes pole. So Alfa Romeo's here in Portugal, having on a bender by the seams of things, loving life. Not down under, that's Australia. But Bottas and Guan Yu Zhou having great fun at the minute. As Sofian is currently P3 as well as Leo. After setting that banker, is struggling quite a bit to improve as we enter the final minute of the session. So this will be people's last laps. We need to find the Aston Martin. 2 Mercedes on a lap, so we'll find the other Aston Martin to see if he's on a lap, or they, sorry. As he currently is, and he's currently 3 tenths up on his lap as well, so it will get him into the 17s for Deli Mosquito. He might get a little cheeky slipstream from the Mercedes drivers as well. As I'm not sure what the Mercedes drivers are doing, they're quite close to each other. 17.6 actually improved by quite a bit. They're giving each other a slipstream, very nice. Captain Blade, as Jarno actually improves once again, getting close to a 115 here now. Will we see anyone break the 1:15 barrier in the next 12 seconds, or maybe a bit longer than 12 seconds, but 12 seconds here or there? As we're right on board with Captain Blade, sorry, as I think he is the man to watch currently. Actually, we'll quickly check back to see Faro Fury on a lap. He comes across the line now to do a 1:16.6, puts himself right up there in the Alpine. Very nice lap indeed. As Rio DC has backed out of his lap, so we'll go back on board with Captain Blade, who's 4 tenths up on his lap at the minute. That's going to put him right around the likes of Faro Fury as well. Obviously his lap was done on the medium tyres, so may have even more time to find, and he's going to put himself right next to his teammate, I believe. Coming across the line now, what will the Mercedes driver do? 16.4 in fact, and puts him on the second row of the grid, just about ahead of the Williams of Sofian. As I do believe that is the session. No, we've still got Galua, as he does improve into P9 in fact, so a very nice lap from the McLaren driver, who I think is a new reserve. as I'm just thinking, there's a lot of drivers that tried to do the mediums. Rotation, it is Ben JS commentating once again. So I don't know why I didn't mention that to begin with. I probably should have, but yeah. As yeah, qualifying is over, and yeah, very nice way to end the session, I think, for the Alfa Romeos. Mercedes quite happy, I think, as well with theirs. As we head into the race, I'm sure there'll be a lot more drama ahead of us in the 33 laps in front of us, I do believe. So yeah, all is good in the world. So quick run through of the grid. ISRL Jarno, also known as ISRL Jarno Opmia to some people, takes pole with a 1:16.2, almost 2 tenths clear of his teammate CPI de Rouge in P2. Captain Blade there in P3, Sofian P4, Demort in the AlphaTauri, very good lap indeed by him in P5. EFL Leo P6, Faro Fiori P7, Stubb P8, Galua P9, CRL Rio DC rounds out the top 10, and Bassi, Knight, Robbie, Deli Mosquito, Loose 14 and Lachise will all have free tyre choice selection going into the Grand Prix, which may be a blessing in disguise. I do not know. So yeah, interesting race we got on our hands here. We got a lot of names that maybe people aren't used to seeing up the top before, and a lot of mini total battles, as it is very dark out in Portimao. And I don't know if it's just me and my screen, but the mirrors, the windows look like they've either shattered a lot or have a lot of rain on them. Obviously it's not raining at the minute, but it could be a bit of a cheeky insight of what is to come in this following 50 minutes as we wait for everyone to decide which tyre they are going to pick, which for the most part should be quite simple, as it seems like no one is actually deciding to ready up, as we've now got racer. I have no idea who that is. I don't know if it's a reserve or if this is now a problem. But we do have a countdown going, so we have 20 seconds remaining, and we're going to go back to our Portimao facts real quickly. The track was built according to F1 as the world-class facility in the autumn of 2008, costing it around a very shallow €195 million. So, you know, quite cheap. And it was first on the F1 calendar in 2020. Now, I presume if there is rain ahead of us, everyone outside the top 10 would have gone for mediums. That is not the case. Robbie has gone for softs, and so has Lachise at the back of the grid. So maybe there is no rain. Even if we don't have rain, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of action and a lot of chaos either way. We've got a variant of strategies now, in and outside the top 10 actually. I think it is quite a simple one stop, if I do remember correctly. I'm not too sure actually. No, yeah, it is a one stop, medium to soft or soft to medium. So strategy wise, it should be quite a simple race, and hopefully most of the battling for the win, well, will happen on track, so we get to watch it and probably miss it, but you know, one can do so much as a commentator. As everyone is taking quite steady on this formation lap. Galileo obviously very scared of the dirty air and taking it very nice and easy. Quite a few car lengths back from Stubb in front. As we have Bassi in the Haas, giving a unique approach to tyre heating there for some you. And yeah, as we now have the leaders coming onto the start finish straight to get ready for round 9 here in ISRL Division 2. So yeah, things are looking good as we got very slowly everyone line up on the grid, and I think that is indeed everyone as we now wait. We do indeed have the 5 red lights here to get us underway here in Division 2 in ISRL, and lights out and away we go, and it's a great start from both Alfa Romeos. It seems as the Mercedes of Captain Blade actually getting the best start out of all 4, with him and Sofian getting a very good start, and De Rouge actually maybe taking it a bit too cautiously into turn 1 and making it pay, as he may lose 2 positions here, as he does indeed. And he also has EFL Leo on his inside, which maybe allow him into P4, which it does. And CPI De Rouge here having an awful start. Both Alfa Romeos actually not seeming to have a great getaway in the grand scheme of things. There's now Captain Blade looking round the outside of ISRL Jarno. Can't find any way through, however, and Jarno for now keeps that lead. But it did seem to be quite a clean race start, as we've got a McLaren drifting in the grass of the Maldives. Fair enough. Sounds like a fun day out. Apart from that, however, everyone seems to get away quite cleanly, as Lachise in the Haas starting from the back of the grid, absolutely flying up the field at the minute on those soft tyres, and into P10, well, P11 with his teammate shortly not too far in front of him in P10. As we do end that first lap, and obviously a lot of these front drivers are using a lot of their ERS to begin with to try and get away from that crucial 1 second window, but none of it seems to be working, as everyone at the minute is, apart from Lachise, is stuck in this train. Actually, I say that Lachise is also in this train. First person outside of the train is Deadly Mosquito in P14. And actually no, Galileo. Yeah, Galileo as well. My bad. Might be. However, this first stint will be where there's a lot of trains, and I think as the race progresses, we slowly start to see, as people come in for their pit stops as well, start to see the race spread out. Obviously, maybe start raining at some point as well. Got safety cars. But so far, ISRL doing a very good job out in front. His guys gap out to around 7/10 now, with Captain Blade doing just about the same thing, so in a way, with Sofian behind. Sofian not looking too dangerous to the driver in front as it stands, as we head on to lap 3. Jarno setting the fastest lap of the race, no surprises there. One thing I will say is CPI De Rouge does not look like he has the pace at the minute. He had obviously quite a bad start, that may fluster him slightly, but still he's only just managing to keep it on the back of the front 4 train, as Farafiori as well as him. Struggling slightly to keep up with the front runner's pace, as he's around that 1 second window, which is ever so scary, as you like, as a driver, seeing that, especially if you've got people behind you, it's like, oh no, it's not going to end well. As there is actually a move going on further down the field. Rio DC round the outside into the fast right hand, double right hander. Very nice move from the Aston Martin indeed. As Stubby nearly actually bins it there as well, which is giving the Cheese the chance who's got past his teammate. I think maybe a bit of team orders in play there. As De Mort, unfortunately for him, round at the penultimate corner. And that is put him right at the back of the field. Only really ISRL Knight in front behind him now, and he's out of position, I think, due to a pit stop. So, yeah. If De Mort had actually been it again, and he may be coming into the pits, he is indeed coming into the pits, and what's such a good qualifying look for the AlphaTauri driver hasn't panned out so far. Something that may pan out soon though is a change for the race leaders. Captain Blade is sticking to the back of that Alfa Romeo like it's 2022 and there's no dirty air, because I tell you what, he is right on the back. He could probably deliver a postcard to the Alfa Romeo driver if he wanted to. He's that close. Weird analogy, I know. Leave me be. As there now becomes to be a bit of a secondary train behind Farrell Fury, the lead train involving the front 5 runners who are all quite evenly spread out between themselves, as we'll ride on board with Captain Blade here, as he now has DRS 4 tenths the gap going down this main straight. Surely he'll be at least thinking of the move going into turn 1. He'll be thinking of it indeed. Has to compromise quite a bit, which has given Sofian a very good run actually. As there's someone round, and it's Farrell Fury. Very unfortunate for him, as once again, like De Mort's, very good qualifying, and once again is ended up in a Spinella. But once again, I will say, Captain Blade right over the back of that. Sorry for this yawn, I cannot help it. I'll be surprised if I'm still awake later, as now, with Farrell Fury spinning in the fashion that he did, it's created a humongous gap between P5 and P6. 2 very different races now going on for these drivers in the different trains, as Lust once again going for a spin in the dirty section of the Portimao circuit. As once again, Jarno on the straight, going to have to defend with all his power, all his ERS, every little bit he's got, to try and keep that Captain Blade's Mercedes behind him. This time, however, Captain Blade does not decide to go for it into turn 1. Has he thought better of it? Has he realised that the better opportunity is down into the hairpin at the end of sector 1? I think he has done, you know. Is he going to look for it once again? Looks but doesn't send. Licks the stamp, he doesn't send it though. But once again, he is all over the back of the Alpha driver. It's quite clear to me, I believe anyway, that Captain Blade does have the most pace so far, as there's a yellow flag at the end of the lap and it's loose. 14, not the race he would have wanted, that's for sure. As once again we're through another lap of this race. It's flying by quite quickly here, and once again Jarno will be put under quite a lot of pressure from the Mercedes behind him. What will Captain Blade do this time? He's tried turn 1, he's tried turn 5, he has a look into turn 1, doesn't really get the best exit he would have liked. However, much better exit than Jarno going into the left-hander of turn 4. And onto this back straight now. It should be a simple move. Can he be later on the brakes? Yes, he can. Parks it on the apex. Very nicely indeed from the Mercedes driver. And because of it, Sofian has actually managed to get through as well. Very big move here. And Jarno's now going to resend it down the inside. This could be just as Jarno, just about saves it there. and has actually allowed EFL Leo as well as him, Sofian, through as well. So what started out so well for Alfa Romeo today, a 1-2, is now looking a lot more like a P4 and P5, which is not what you want to see at all, is it? I'm sure the Alfa Romeo boss will be having stern words with them about that start, because a bit like real life actually. Alfa Romeo did not seem to be good at getting their traction down. As Jarno actually into the pit on lap 7, a very early pit stop I must say, from the Alfa driver. In the doing so, it does release CPI de Rouge into this front train and in a slightly higher position than he was before. As Jarno's actually gone back out on another set of softs with a ring change as well, which kind of says his pace was not fully being shown and he's hoping for a safety car. As Fiori down the inside of Bassi, squeezes him on the exit, more than fair racing, and through the Alpine goes. Nice move indeed from the Irish man. As Sofian now he's got a grasp of the race lead, he looks more than up for it, going into this DRS straight, which has been the place of so many overtakes in this track in real life and right in front of your screens right now. Sofian well within reach of the Mercedes driver. May not even need ERS to get past here. He does use a bit of ERS, but like I said, doesn't need it. And into the lead he goes. Nice move from the Williams driver. As Bassi actually repassing Fiori. As we see Stubby into the pits. Stubb for a set of those medium tyres, who's actually going to come out just ahead. For how long, I do not know. Yeah, he actually lets him through actually quite nicely there from the Alpine driver. Good bit of sportsmanship there. As Lachise started last on the grid and currently 2 seconds off the front train. A brilliant drive so far from the Haas driver, making most of the use of those soft tyres, which he had a choice of. He didn't have to choose to use them. Decided to get for it, and it's paying off. As now, will we see Captain Blade manage to do anything on Sofian? No. If anyone's going to make an overtake, it would be his teammate EFL Leo on Captain Blade himself. Captain Blade, red light flashing all over the show, which if you're new to F1 means he is low on energy recovery system, which is the ERS, which people use to overtake to gain a bit of extra top speed, but obviously you lose the battery power if you use the overtake button. And Captain Blade, I'm sure is pretty aware of that as it stands. Once again, I will apologise for me yawning. It's not because the race is tiring, it's definitely not. It's me and my brain not working. So yeah. Heading on to lap 10 now, so we should in a few laps time start to see, maybe even now actually, a few drivers come into the pits, and yeah, 2 of the drivers come into the pits, and I'm guessing that will be for the medium compound tyre. As what this has done is given CPI de Rouge a bit of a mountain to climb here, as it's outside of the DRS, and it also will allow Lachise to actually try and catch these guys who don't have DRS on each other for once, which will be, I'm sure, quite a nice feeling for him. As Sofian comes out in P10, Captain Blade, it is quite important to the race this, as he's spun. He has done a spinella, and he has lost positions to Jarno and Stubb and the Cheese and Darouge and Leo and maybe even Real DC as well with that spin. So hard tires clearly not working as he thought they would be going into this race. Speaking of this little battle we have at the front, we have Darouge, who has managed to gain that DRS back. Will they both come into the pits this lap? I presume they will. Well, one of them does anyway. EFL Leo now into the pits. He's realised he's got an opportunity here for P2. And he realises to keep that P2 and maybe even make it P1, he needs to be close to Sofian, the net leader. So as we come across the line, straight, flat, pit straight now, where will Leo come out in front of compared to Sofian? He will come out slightly behind, obviously having to take a compromise exit into turn 1 as well, with the pit lane being the pit lane. It has meant he's around 1.5 seconds back, so not too far back from the Williams driver, but some work to do, that's for sure. Yeah, the race sort of spreading out quite dramatically as it stands. It's also got a lost on you, so there goes the theory of rain. As I'm trying to find a battle for you guys, but I just can't seem to find one in a minute. We've got Sofian and Deadly Mosquito off. Sofian coming up to the back of Deadly Mosquito, who hasn't stopped yet, so he is a pit stop down. However, if he wants to, there's nothing against Deadly Mosquito battling for this, as it is for track position. It is lead lap. No blue flags for the Aston Martin driver, however, he may need them anyway. Not need them anyway, Sofian has onto this back straight. He should cruise quite simply past the Aston Martin driver. He does so. And into P6. Good move from the Williams driver. Yes. As once again, this basically means nothing is happening as it stands, and I have to comment. Oh, instead side of Deadly Mosquito realised there was an important move he had to make for him to try and catch back up to the net leader of the race, Sofian, and he has done that. Indeed, he's now 1. It was 1.5 when they came out of the pit. It's now 1.1. So that Mercedes clearly at the stands has slightly better pace than the Williams in front of him. So yeah, interesting. But they're not actually overtaking Lucy, he is just a lap down. What will this do, however? Will it give EFL Leo DRS? No, it will not, as he backs out just before the intersection line. Very good idea from the McLaren driver. As now we have the two leaders, Lachise and CPI Darouge, in the pits, and they've come out 2 seconds back, so not too far, As we now await this two-way battle for the leader stands. It may become a three-way in a few laps' time. Depends on Darouge and whether he can catch in time or not, or he has the pace to catch to begin with. As Sofian now on the back of Farah Fury, who obviously Farah Fury started the race so well, and obviously he had that moment earlier on in the stint, and it's led him to be almost a pit stop down now. But what this has done Yes, it's allowed a certain Mercedes driver right on the back of these two, and if Fury pits, which he may do, it's going to cause a bit of chaos. He has indeed pit, and Leo is going for the move. Going to go round the outside into turn 1. Is Sofian going to fight this into turn 1? He decides to do so. Sofian not backing down without a fight here. Sends it back up the inside. Leo trying to get the comeback and better line into this end of sector 1 / turn 5 cut place of the track, and he's later on the brakes ish, and he squeezes Sofian slightly wide, but more than fair game. And into the net race leader does Leo go. And what this has done is allowed Darude to catch, so in the end this may have all backfired slightly on them. We shall wait to see. Obviously Darude having much fresher tyres than the guys in front, almost 3-4 lap fresher tyres than Sofian, and 3 says 2 laps, so maybe add 1 to that, so 4 and 3. And EFL Leo has also just picked up a penalty, which obviously will not help his cause one bit at all. As I am struggling to stay awake here, so don't you worry. Once again, Leo very wide into this corner. A key problem, it seems, is that no one can get out of the DRS, which means no one can lose their opponents who they took so valiantly to overtake, and it just keeps doing the switcheroos. As we look down the grid, Stubb, Rio DC and Robbie and Galua battling side by side here. So far so good going into sector 2, however he has got a McLaren teammate Sam beached in the grass. Yeah, grassed up. This is why you all join my commentating so much, I'm sure. As we are now halfway through the race. Good on us. As Bassi makes his one and only pit stop, I do believe, from the race lead, which does free up the spot for Leo. For how long, I do not know. Into turn 1, Sofian seems very close to the back of that Mercedes, almost touching it, I do believe, going into this section. Can he get a good enough exit? Leo using a creative interpretation of the track limits, which I'm sure is not found from anyone in Division 1 who may use the same tactics to try and set a fast lap in qualifying anyway. I've tried it personally, it doesn't work, so it can't be me, but you never know. And yeah, so this whole DRS little train conversation group thing, it's going to carry on for the rest of the race, I do believe. As Captain Blade on those hard tyres, he should eventually start to make progress on them, as they will come into being slightly quicker at the end of the race. He just needs to try and close up as much as he can. Lacheese, by the way, what a race this guy is having in the Haas. 16th on the grid to 4th in 18 laps. It's almost a position a lap. And he's only 4 seconds off the lead of the race as well. Which, you know what that means? He's not far off Leo's penalty range. Yep, once again we've had Leo lead. He's got superior straight line speed, it seems, on the Williams and the Haas as well, and the Alpha, not the Haas. And yeah, everyone's just kind of vibing at the minute. They're kind of in DRS, kind of not in DRS, not really battling either. which makes life so fun for a commentator that's already been up for 24 hours. Well, longer than that now, but you know. So yeah, we're going to go back to Portimao stats because nothing is happening. We'll keep on board with Sofian down the straight actually, as he's around 5 tenths back. He will be looking to see if he can make the move. Maybe if just as a scout for later on as he saves up a bit of VRS or whatnot. Can I make the move here? Can I make the move there? Because Leo going very defensive into turn 1. A bit unnecessary if you ask me. He doesn't need to defend air as it is. But yeah. That's kind of put him back on the back foot through this first sector. Struggling quite a lot through the upwards left-hander. Going to give a chance for Sofian to try and look around the outside. Thinks better of it. And yeah. Once again, with the leaders who can't overtake. Did you know that Portimao was actually used for pre-season testing in the winter of 2008 and 2009? While several drivers, including Ricciardo, Leclerc, Bottas, have experienced this circuit at Portimao in their junior careers. Little fun fact for you there. Once again, we've got the Sofian. Oh, we've got a yellow flag. Is it anything major? Major Brusco? Doing the old How I Met Your Mother dance along. There's an ISRL Night. It seems to be the one in the bad books. Well, not bad books, in the yellow flag spot. But he's back underway once again on those hard tyres. No one is the wiser to it as we head into the last 10 or so laps of this race, which has unfortunately died out a bit at the minute. We've got Captain Blade on those hard tyres, which will be feeling quite good in comparison to others at the minute. Starting to make progress back through the field. Obviously he had that spin as he came out of the pits, which kind of put a halt on the race win, I believe, for today. But maybe he'll be able to catch the cheese by the end. It's just about. People will be solid points for the Mercedes driver, who currently sits in Captain Blade. I can't see it on there. I don't know why it's on there. Maybe he's a reserve. He might be a reserve actually. But yeah, we enter another lap. The front runners still haven't made a move for the lead, so no shocks there. However, will Captain Blade show him how it's done into turn 5 here? The Mercedes driver goes, he looks for a move once again, but thinks better of it. Getting increasingly frustrated, I'm sure the Mercedes driver is, as it stands, but also playing it smart as well. He knows he can't do much higher than this, he doesn't want to risk his tyres, his face, his body, his stuff that get injured in a crash. So yeah, we'll stick on board with this for now. As we can have a quick check-in at the front, as Sofian, I think, has actually realised he wins this race, which is the clever way to think about it, really. I mean, I would still want the win on track, personally, because it makes sense. Obviously, you never know, Leo could get his penalty removed for some reason. But once again, I've said this a lot, but Captain Blade all over the back of Real DC. Can he do anything this time round? He's got the DRS, he's got the ERS, he's got the Danny dive bomb. Can he land the dive bomb? Not fully yet, but he's going to use his ERS to go round the outside to gather the inside line for that corner, and bish bash bosh, Mercedes back into P5. Well done him. You know what this means? We can ride back on board with the battle at the front, which I'm sure you guys love so much at the minute. Will Sofian go for a move this time? He may think about it and did not go for it. I'm not saying it's a bad method, by the way, Sofian. It's a very good method, but please just give us action. Please, Lord, give us action. As Leo going defensive into turn 5, it's not going to help his case of getting a bare exit. On the winning driver, he's compromised himself, he's really defending. Fresh air there, and it's not helped him one bit, as he's now got 4 tenths to the car behind. You don't want that. Ideally, he'd be cruising away out front, but I don't think that'll happen either, so I think he'll just take around a 7-8 tenth gap, I think, which it doesn't look like he's getting at the minute. Going into this final sector now, can Sofian do anything? He's around 4 tenths back. It seems to be the closest he's been in a long time. Going on to his back straight, can he do anything now? That Leo just seems to have slightly more straight line top speed, I believe. As here comes Sofian into turn 1. He backs off though, right thing to do maybe. Take it easy, don't get a pen. But he's getting a lot closer to the back of that Mercedes than Leo sure would like. But going into turn 5, he once again manages to break the first of the 3 drivers and, yeah, keeps the P1 position. Which, I'm not mistaken, I don't think, maybe his first win in ISRL if he carries on as it stands. I need to find the standings. I will ignore that for now. We won't be able to find that stat out, but yeah. It's actually, we've got Real DC here, getting past Captain Blade. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. What could that be for? No one knows. Captain Blade, who obviously got past Will Rio DC a few laps ago, maybe made a mistake, I do not know, but he's falling behind once again and is also in the pit. Not in the pits. Back in P6, that's what I was going to say. My bad. Just look how close Sofian is. Sofian, lad, make the move, just please, I'm begging. He's going to leave it to like lap 33. I could already sense it here, however. Yeah. We need to get some lovely panning shots of the cars. CPI Derouge here, still on 50% DRS. He needs to start burning that and burning it soon if he wants a chance at the win. As Sofian, 2 attempts back going into the last corner. He actually runs wider quite a bit. Derouge now looking at Sofian, who's looking at Leo, who's looking at the both of them. It's a tricky relationship these three have as it stands. So going on to the back straight, Leo goes defensive quite early on, letting his intentions be shown to the world. And Sofian, I think, by now knows how Leo is going to act if he goes for a move. Is he going to go for one? Is he going to go for one? No. You fools. Of course he's not going to go for one. Joking, Sofian. It's a very good idea. I just want to see overtakes. Speaking of overtakes, Real DC, Captain Blade, want to get into a bit of a overtaking frenzy? Would be nice. I think Sofian's main problem in a minute with trying to get past Leo is he seems to make constant mistakes going into this corner when 3 times, 4 times back, and he's just not able to keep up going on to the first DRS first DRS line. And once again it's happened again. He's been around 2 to 3 times behind him the entire lap, yet out of that final corner Leo has some insane traction on those slightly fresher mediums, but it just isn't enough. And I'm sure this is annoying Derouge as well, as he's trying. Oh, Sofian touches the back of Leo there. Can this be the chance that Derouge gets? It doesn't seem to be, no. Viewers, when I tell you I'm this close to falling asleep just because my eyes won't actually reopen, yeah, it's bad. I'm going to keep exercising. But once again, this is what I'm saying, Sofian able to keep up through the corners where I'm pretty sure he has a more downforce based setup in comparison to Mercedes, but gets into the final few corners and Leo just bolts. Leo's playing this superbly at the minute. He's not giving Sofian nor Derouge an opportunity at all. Once again, you see 3 attempts going into the final corner and it's now 4 attempts. Hey-o. It's already closing back down. Can we see a pass for the lead? Maybe this lap. Sofian deciding against the use of ERS into turn 1. Thinking better of it, maybe going for the move into turn 4/5. It's all important of how well he can put the power down. Does it alright as Knight gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. A bad day, only made worse, I believe, for the Canadian driver. I think that's right saying. Please don't kick me if I'm wrong. And yeah, once again, we've got this whole, oh, I'm 3 attempts back in the middle sector, I'm going to get in this lap, and then nothing happens. Why does nothing happen? They're just You know what? They thought, like, yeah, you know, you're doing commentating on your own. You want a lot of action. Nah, you're not getting it. I can't complain. Div 2 has been thoroughly chaotic throughout the season, and I'm sure one calm race won't do a miss. As Sofyan now going for the move, saves up all his ERS to get the move done into turn 1. Lovely from the Williams driver, and that is not just the net lead, the lead. As Leo doesn't seem to be quite happy about it, as he goes for the move back on him. He's going to get the switch back. It actually makes contact with him. Can CPI Derouge do anything? He's going to look round the outside. It's going to send it quite deep, Leo is on Sofyan. CPI Derouge maybe actually just wanted to keep away from this battle for a minute, as he wants these 15 points. I don't know. Other point system here. But basically, I've realised, as it's currently getting 15 points, and all this is doing is allowing Lachise into that 3-second window, which may actually knock Leo off the podium altogether, which I'm sure you will not want to be seeing, will you, Leo? As Sofyan here, all over the back of that Mercedes. I don't know what Leo's done through the final corner, but it clearly hasn't worked. Doesn't need to use the RS Sofyan, you can just cruise on by. As actually Derouge, using that 70% ERS that we talked about so long, goes into the lead of the race, and all of a sudden, it's gone from Sofyan being almost in control due to Leo having a penalty, to Derouge taking the lead by storm. However, Sofyan's going to send it up the inside. It's Derouge trying to do the under and over. Leo gets another time penalty. Derouge defends the inside line, very clever indeed. But Leo, he may have more penalties, but it doesn't seem to make a difference for him, as he's still more than willing to battle with his fellow racers here. And look at Lachise. Lachise is well here. So in these next 2 laps now, 2 and a bit laps, 2.5 laps I'd say, what can Derouge do? Leo's tyres seem to have fallen off the cliff, Merry Cliff. Merry Cliffs of Dover, and Lachise is here with DRS. Leo not got DRS anymore. Leo's race really falling apart here. He's going to get overtaken, I think, by Lachise here. Lachise has the ERS advantage, has the DRS advantage. Absolutely flying down into turn 1. And gets the move done into P3. Brilliant move from the Haas driver, who's had a stellar Sunday drive. Now, as we head on to the penultimate DRS straight. No, said that wrong. Penultimate lap. CPI Derouge knows that he can't just stick behind him here. He knows he's got to be close enough to Sofyan to get the move done. He's got more ERS, that will help come in handy. What can the Alpha do to try and steal this win on the last lap here in Portugal today? Going through the fast right-hander, he needs just to keep it close here. Make sure he's not doesn't lose touch completely of the Williams driver. He does manage to do that, I think, quite well. Around 6 tenths back. A bit closer than he was the previous lap. Now, onto this straight. He realises this is his last chance. Well, he's got 2 chances. The Sofyan is burning already. Derouge, I think, knows this. He's looking for it. Into turn 1. He thinks better of it, but he's well within striking distance of that Williams car now. Into turn 3. Can he do anything? No. Turn 4. Can Sofyan get a good exit? Yes, he can. Can Sofyan? All he has to do is really defend into this corner. Derouge looking for it. I think he thinks better of it, maybe for the title. I don't know. Brilliant defending from Sofyan, and that should be... It's a yellow flag in sector 1, actually. Quickly ride on board with what's happened there. It's actually ISRL Yarno. Has he run out of fuel? I think he has done. A lot of people actually. CPI de Rouge. Sofian's run out of fuel. CPI de Rouge has taken the win. Lachise in second. Leo also got a lot of fuel. What has happened here in the final few corners at Portugal? Everyone's just seemed to forgot to fuel the car. Coming through the final corner now. CPI de Rouge will take the win. Lachise will take P2. Leo will get Sofian for P3 for now. Will he keep it? I don't think he will. Sofian just about gets onto the podium. Captain Blade actually takes P4. Real DC P5. Leo with 9 seconds worth of penalties in the end in P6. Bassi P7. Galua P8. Robbie P9. Farrell, a decent recovery, will take P10. Stubby out of fuel. Yarno out of fuel. De Mortier could steal some points. De Mortier is going to come flying through here. Very nicely done indeed. He fueled the car enough and takes P11. Stubb will get P12. No, he won't. Yarno just about steals P12 back as we went our wait on ISRL night to finish off the race. And wow, I did not expect that ending at all, as I will in a second add the 3 drivers on the podium today onto the party. And what a way to end. I mean, I don't know how hard it is fuel wise here, but surely I've never seen that many people lose fuel that quickly. Last lap. But yeah, a very brilliant race there from De Rouge. Has had the perfect weekend in terms of points. He takes Lorenzo missing, takes the lead, and the win here in Portugal with 7 rounds left now, 6 maybe. Takes the win today, so I'll quickly run through the grid, then add everyone to the party. De Rouge in first place, Lachise in P2. Sofian rounds off the podium in P3 after running out of fuel somehow. Captain Blade P4, Real DC P5, Leo P6, Bassi P7, Galua P8, Robbie P9, Farrell Fury P10, Demort 11th, Yarno rounds off the points I believe in P12, Stubb in 13th, Luce in 14th, Knight 15th and Deadly Mosquito in 16th. As now we'll add everyone to the party. And we'll hopefully get a few interviews going. De Rouge, Lachise and Sofian. There you go. If you lot want to join the party, you can. We'll give it a few minutes and then we'll see if not, we'll leave it there for this week. So yeah, very interesting race. Next week we will not be here. We have a break week due to Easter. And then the week after, I do believe it is the British Grand Prix. Very nice. Australia after that. Then France, then Baku, then Belgium, the final sprint race of the season. And Brazil will round off the season. So give it a few minutes. As we do have De Rouge join the party. There we go. Hello, De Rouge, and congrats on the win, first of all.
Good evening, thank you.
Perfect result for you today with Lorenzo missing. How was that for you?
The win or Lorenzo missing?
Well, you can both if you want.
Well, I never liked, your main rivalry now. But,
yeah.
The race was good. I was just saving fuel behind Sofian the whole time because I was 0.2 laps down, so I wasn't overtaking him.
Oh, right.
And then towards the end, that was actually pretty sketchy. I thought I wasn't going to get him at the end, and then he ran out of fuel. So
I was going to say, were you close to running out of fuel? Because it seemed like a lot of the drivers on the grid just didn't have enough fuel.
I mean, Usually we just expect to be like at least one safety car, so we just like we just like put the exact laps in, like putting 3 above. But didn't happen.
But yeah, so obviously it is a break week next week, but after that it is a Silverstone. Will you want to be extending that gap you have between yourself and Lorenzo with?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Is it a good track for you, Britain?
Yeah. I mean, I like the qualifying there, but like the race is usually just like
quite boring. Yeah.
Yes, dear sir. But
yeah,
I want to thank my engineer, Boompje, legend, head Boompje, because he was engineering me the whole time.
Oh yeah, engineers are helpful when they make the right strategy calls. Yeah, well done to you. I think that will be the only interview today. It doesn't seem anyone else is joining the party. But well done to you on your race victory today.
Thank you. Thanks for commentating. What happened to Yano? Did he get damaged? I think he got like damage at lap 5, did he?
He got damaged lap 5 and then and then he did the 2-stop as well. So I think that didn't help him. Yeah.
Because we were on a 1-2, so I thought like fell from him.
Yeah, so I was going to say you started off really well in qualifying, and then you both had a quite bad start and then worked your way. But yeah.
Yeah, unlucky.
But yeah, that will be it from all us today. In half an hour, we will have Division 1, so you can watch me. I'll put some more fuel in my car, but you might probably see me crash out at some point anyway. And yeah, I'm sure that'll be fun for you to watch. So see you all there. Enjoy your break week, guys.